during the bans, smiling about these target support bans because Vulcan has been the go-to Alistar, his most played by far. They take that one out in response to taking away CoreJJ's Rel right there, so two of the big playmaking supports. But there you go. You point out the first pick here, they're focused on Alphari still in a winning topside matchup. So they snatch up Renekton and see what Cloud9 want to throw down if they want to go the route early on in draft of, hey, we're going to actually play around Fudge, Quinn, or an Ignite top laner. Or if we go default, Gragas has been way more common for them ever since they had some of the early stumbles. They've actually found stability on Fudge on this type of role. Just yesterday, we saw him leaving Fudge in the exact same matchup. Gragas just be a sack of healing meat up there, join the team fights, show up later, buddy. We'll take care of the rest of the business. They actually continue on with similar two picks. Ashe once again for Zven. He paired it with a Lulu last time around, which was very good for their mid-game DPS. All the extra attack speed and on-hit works super well with Ashe, but it also brings crowd control and engage for them from the bottom side.
Well, it's going to be hard to get away, though, because Ashe does not have natural escapes. Her arrow's not going to be against Hecarim during the ulti, and Santorin can dive that backline. Renekton doesn't have the worst time ever of joining either. It's not quite maybe an Aurelia with like the faster, longer range dash, but yeah, you're going to be able to reach without too much difficulty. The Orianna to follow up. I mean, Team Liquid can absolutely start their team fights off. Santorin is going to deliver that ball in Jensen. It's not hard to press R. Zhonya sometimes, but the ultimate, it's going to get it.
Oh my goodness. Still to this day, haunting him with that one. Honestly, the Jensen memes coming into this one, though, are really good because he used to trash talk Bjergsen a lot when, you know, that was his main competitor. And he transitioned over to talking about Perkz. He was like, you know what? I learned way more from Bjergsen, actually, than I possibly can learn from Perkz. So I want to see what Perkz gives him with a counter pick here because Team Liquid, a little bit bold, you know, stepping up with the blind pick Orianna. Not really, as Ori is one of the most common blind picks. Plus, you have two bans to protect yourself, you know, from any super spicy mid picks that Perkz can go for. You know, maybe ban out the Yone or something like that, so he doesn't, you know, pop off with an assassin.
I know the standard one has tended to be Syndra over the years, and that was actually an option here, but Cloud9 would rather get the Thresh. They wanted to lock in a support pick in time for Vulcan before more bans came through. So, all right, entire bot lane picked on one side, the solos picked on the other, plus the jungle. So you're going to see different bans, AD carry bans for Cloud9. Likely jungle bans coming through. Indeed, there's the Rek'Sai on the Team Liquid side. So, yeah, we'll see if that keeps going on, but I wouldn't, you know, hate Samira, since like Samira Leona is TL's probably most favorite bot lane duo.
I just think it's hilarious that Blaber started to draw Rek'Sai bans. This originated in a game where he got 5 jungle bans at him and was like, I guess I got to dig real deep and pick up Rek'Sai now. But ever since he's shown multiple Rek'Sai games and transitioning towards the 11.4 style of jungle of heavy ganking, now he's actually straight up drawing those bans. It's really difficult to figure out what you need to take away from this guy because you haven't been able to stop him from carrying with just the bans. Talia is still up for him if they want the AP route, if Cloud9 did want to go AD Assassin for Perkz in the mid lane, so definitely still viable options for them here. They can easily save their you know, last counter pick on red side for him and leave it up to him.
Trist ban does not surprise me. I am surprised by the Nautilus ban, though. Again, I still think it's very likely we see Leona Samira come through. Samira is great into Ashe and Thresh because the skill shot is very telegraphed, and you just wind wall it with W, and it's not a problem at all. And honestly, Leona fits the comp as well, right? You just dive in with the squad. Samira could do the exact same thing. I'd be surprised if it's not that duo coming across. We'll see what else TL believes. Obviously, they may have their own thoughts here. As Skarner comes across for Blaber, that's going to be, what, 3 times in 4 games? It's going to feel comfortable. But, you know, Flower's gone, so I'll talk about butt twists instead.
Just what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
Phreak gonna talk about butt twists. Get out of my head. I don't want to imagine any of this. It is Captain Flowers Day today at the LCS, though. Skarner Day continues. I'm not gonna let you add anything on there, Phreak. I know you're waiting to put another one in.
We're good.
Instead, it's gonna be Tahm Kench lock in here for Team Liquid, and with Senna banned out, Aphelios is the pickup.
All right, yeah, I mean, waiting for the tick down. I don't think they're going to hop off the Aphelios, but we'll wait to see for certain. It means they've got a very safe backline here where the Tahm Kench can save Jensen, can save Tactical if there is a dive to come in, right? The Ashe arrows and the Thresh hooks that come across, okay, they got hit, but you know, let's put you back out to safety. That's going to work. But yeah, you know, Hecarim and Renekton aren't quite those same kind of peel champions, where if TL is trying to play kite back and all about tactical, the champs don't fit that quite as heavily. It means they've got multiple ways to play it. They can play aggressively. They can play somewhat defensively by just peeling tactical, but it's certainly not all in a one play style at this point in time, as Lucian's still going to come through, so it is still going to be an AD mid laner, but not Trist the Lucian instead for Perkz.
I think that if you end up in a world as Team Liquid where you're using Hecarim to peel, then you are in a very bad situation, because then you don't have your main delivery for the offensive shockwave combination, and you're looking at these double marksman carries for Cloud9. Already shown how strong their late game can be by the Golden Guardians in the previous game, and Lucian actually can put out just as much pressure, if not more, in the lane phase than Tristana here. So I definitely expect Perkz to be playing aggressively. Blaber has been very good on a lot of these junglers that do like to full clear in still involving map objectives with his jungle clears. Skarner's definitely one of those champions, likes to get off full clears. He'll stop off, give a control ward to Perkz, and so they can combine that way.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see what this team fight turns into and what the game turns into as well. We know that the Cloud9 composition on the red side is very physical heavy. There's not a lot of magic to speak of. Kai'Sa, 25-30% is not going to put out that much overall, which means you've got a Hecarim and a Renekton and the Tahm Kench who are just going to be happy to armor stack, and that can make the team fights maybe a little bit more difficult to fight through. On the TL side, of course, Aphelios, who is probably the best consistent single target damage champion out there, at least by maybe 2 to 3 items. You know, he's been picked up because, well, there's also a big front line on the Cloud9 side. We're expecting it to be tank Gragas. Skarner builds pure tank and pro play, and so Tactical trying to burn through those champions, you know, that can be really slow if he's like a Kalista who falls off, for example. Yeah. So that seems to be kind of the way he's aiming with that.
At least as Aphelios, when you have a Tahm Kench, you get like an offshore account, and you can delay returning your taxes or even evade them also, as long as CoreJJ is there. He can protect you from the Skarner, and CoreJJ is going to have to be the one probably spending money on AQSS. Does mean he'll be a squishy Tahm Kench, though. So I've definitely seen him as targets as well. You can get knocked back by a Gragas ultimate quite easily and just burst it down, QSS or not.
Alrighty. Well, I'm going to wait for level 6. I've thought of something that might be clever, but we'll see if CoreJJ can save the teammate as a result. You'll know when you hear it. I'm just hoping.
You've got to the next stage of like, okay, I'm actually going to hold this thought.
Yeah. I can say it now, but it'll be funnier in play-by-play. And now it's never going to happen, but you know, if it doesn't, I'll just tweet it and be like, look how clever I thought I was. But the game has begun. Team Liquid, they so frequently will leash for their bottom lane, and yet they have incredible laning stats despite that fact. Obviously, you can see Cloud on the other side have had Fudge do that honor. That means Zven and Vulcan get to play for lane control and lane priority. And despite that, like, I'm expecting TL to still find some way to have control back. Now, Tahm Kench and Aphelios, not a dominant lane. They're not realistically going to be doing much more than playing under their turret. C9 should have control over here. I would not be surprised to see them actually go for very early dragons as a result, because they're going to have bot control. But something to watch for in this one, as I don't see how Ashe Thresh should be losing this lane.
Yeah, definitely not. Plus, Ashe Thresh also has the added bonus of keeping track of your opponent jungler, one of the most annoying things in the game to deal with as a jungler. And since Santorin here on Hecarim has a very predictable route, as you said, their bottom lane pulls for him quite often. They know it will be a very standard clear, so you can just continue to track this Hecarim up towards the top side as soon as Zven gets a level in his Hawk shot, so that they don't get any of those unexpected ganks towards mid, because that's really the lane that Cloud9 are looking at. They don't really care too much about Fudge up there on the top side, as we saw previously. You know, he can just take the Gragas, heal, stay near his tower, clear out the wave. Mostly in the matchup, at least he did last time around. Alphari is definitely trying to give it to him, though.
Yeah, worth noting, Alphari on the previous wave went and checked out Krugs by himself. Didn't waste the ward. He saw Krugs were gone. Was like, okay, we know Blaber did red Krugs Wolves, or Raptors to Wolves, so we know where he is. We know what camp he's on. You know, if you're a professional player, you know the rough jungle speed of these champions. So Alphari knows he is safe. He doesn't actually have to waste wards anymore. He doesn't need to put new trinkets down, because there's really no way Skarner's on his side of the map. But it also means that he can say, hey, for sure, you know, Fudge didn't fake leash or anything. It's definitely happening, by the way, Skarner's bot side.
Yep, and we can see the lanes playing accordingly. Bottom side still just chilling down there as they trade Scuttle Crabs. Mid lane is the obvious target, and Jensen pushed up.
Hugging the left-hand side, but he's got no mana. He's got nowhere to go. Perkz going to keep putting the damage in, and Jensen honestly should just not give these hits away. Let him die. No reason to flash. I don't know how he lives here. He's going to be revealed. He's going to buy some time, and he's actually going to force Perkz to flash as well. I don't know if you need to do that because I think you still get the kill, but he wanted to save some time away from his lane. Regardless, it is a kill coming through. It's a full solo kill because I don't believe Squire's Bloom gives assist credit. So 400 gold goes to Perkz.
Yeah, teleport immediately used to get right back after. Honestly, this is a big difference in jungle mid synergy. Just talking about your wave state. Jensen is pushed up here right in front of Perkz' tower, and this is versus a Lucian. So he has to get that in, or he is going to be denied a lot as the game goes on, and he kind of needs a side to hover to. Usually you'll have your jungler who just did top crab give you an out on the top side there, so he can hover that side. But Blaber sticks around for Perkz. Meanwhile, Jensen all alone goes down, double summoners burned, and then guess what? Skarner's back in the Lucian lane that's constantly looking for harassment.
Yeah, time to try, but Jensen had enough cooldowns back, wasn't going to be a problem. Tried to bait him into the CS, didn't come through. But the one punishment is that Santorin, yes, he did recall. He got to pick up his Sheen. Blaber, because he spent the time ganking, did not get to recall. So his second clear is going to be somewhat slower. It's obviously, I think, the right play to get the kill and, you know, give your mid laner first blood, so congrats to that one. But it does mean he's going to be a little bit slower for the rest of this one. Nice hook's going to come through, but they're going to save the chomp. There weren't any more damage coming across, and actually big hits going. Nicely done by Tactical and CoreJJ. He just opened fire with a mini wave in front of him.
Bottom dive maybe set up here. They chunked him down to 50%. It's doable.
All right, we've heard about top dive. How about bottom dive? They're going to be flay backwards, but still so low on health. Horsey's on backwards, but Summoner Heal keeps him safe. Re-engage might look good. Vulcan's hook going to be dodged to the side, but Fudge has arrived. Spit right back out of Santorin, but still, the fight continues. Tactical low on health. Alphari in the backline, flay backwards. Still finds Zven. Finds that kill. Blaber gets one. Blaber runs away. Jensen takes him back down. Fudge forced to flash away under the turret, but they've got no mana. They got very little health. Alphari going to lead the charge. Gets the empowered stun. Charge comes across, and there is all the kills coming across. Team Liquid, 4-1 in that fight.
They've got no mana, Phreak. They've also got no lives. Team Liquid joined. Everybody adds to the party. Even Jensen walked over here on the Orianna. You see on the mini-map right now, he's got a wave at turret. He still starts walking on over. Teleports come in first for Fudge, but Alphari is short to follow. CoreJJ delaying by devouring Santorin, spits him back out, and Alphari takes it right to the back line of Cloud9. Meanwhile, Jensen walks over. This whole play was while Perkz was on a recall timing in base. That's why Team Liquid pushed for it so hard. I think that's just good communication here and map awareness by the Team Liquid squad. One member of Cloud9 cannot, under any circumstances, join that, as Perkz has no teleport, used it back to lane, and was in the base. So they wrap up the extra gold here. Giant early game lead for them. And even though Fudge did lose out on a decent amount of CS, he was already getting beat up down there. So he's quite happy. As soon as you get your Bramble Vest, feeling so much better about the stability of the top matchup.
True. So we'll see if he stops bleeding farm, because obviously the 16 CS deficit is not pretty right now. See where it goes over the course of time, but an early deficit, obviously. Bot lane, Tactical and CoreJJ only got assists there, and since they were shared across so many other players, they weren't, you know, more than maybe 70 gold per assist, so they're not exactly rich here, but it is some money that adds up. You can see they've got a lot of pressure. The second turret plate's already fallen down there. They're working on the third, and I said they weren't going to win the lane, but when you get 4 kills and you get a share in the golden XP of that one, you start to feel a lot better about your 2-on-2.
Yeah, plus your jungler is rich. That's who's rich off of this one, and that feels really good as a bottom lane. Santorin's got red buff, plus he has 2 components already for the, well, 3 people versus Perkz. How does he get out of this one?
The wave comes in, make the dive a little bit easier, and Perkz cannot get away. An easy dive for the squad as Santorin and Alphari combine to make the kill happen underneath the turret. Team Liquid in control everywhere now as they just convert that over to the Dragon. Started up by the dual lane, who already had control, and Cloud9 no longer have anything active to do on this game. Perkz got first blood, and since then it's been all downhill for Cloud9.
Really, really strong proactive early game here from Team Liquid. Alphari especially isn't just, getting this measly CS lead versus a Gragas. He's going to try and affect the rest of the lanes and punishing the Lucian pick in mid. Lucian being down to Orianna here with all the focus that Team Liquid are trying to put there just has bailed Jensen out, honestly, from that early discrepancy in the mid lane ganks. Feels really, really good for him to get that support from the rest of his team after the way the early phase went. Here's the Lantern Skarner gank, though.
All right, looking for the attempt. Blaber, they're going to find the stun and spits him right back out. No problem. Finds the stun, puts the ulti now back on a CoreJJ. Has flash, has exhaust, played backwards, puts on the shield. And the slows might just be enough. CoreJJ walks out. Not going to be a problem. However, Perkz is here.
Yeah, here we go. Dive commence.
Ult comes across, going to be CoreJJ burning his stopwatch to buy a few seconds, which may be worthwhile since Vulcan's going to die! Vulcan's going to drop. Tactical and Core combined for a single kill. It's time for the second round. Zven picks up one. Perkz going to find the second, and Blaber had aggregates to walk away. One kill at least for the TL side, but otherwise +1 kill, +1 plate.
Solo laners are coming to try and collect exit kills here, but let's see. Jensen has flash.
Yeah, Perkz playing away from Zven, so Shock could never hit 2. He's going to look for it right now, has to flash, but held on the entire time. Said, okay, Jensen, I saw your first Q, I dashed, look for the second Q, flash over it. Still a summoner spell missing, but a trade for the ulti.
The other ramification of this bottom lane focus is that Santorin does finish up the Rift Herald on top side of the map and will be able to get a bunch of extra money off of these turret plates for one of his solo lanes. You already see the swap coming out from Tactical and CoreJJ after that dive as well, getting up to the top side first, and they're just leaving Alphari down in the bottom side. Since he walked all the way over there, he has no teleport ready. They're just going to go for the lane swap. I do like this so they don't lose out on the extra wave of tempo.
That's nice stuff right here. Blaber's going for the hard farm now, going through this. The duo lane of Cloud9 going to join top side, so at least they'll be matching in the 2-on-2. And look, bot lane's already lost 2 turrets, top lane's already lost 1. Oh, they know. He's on a ward. Hook's going to land. This could be really good damage. Can they finish the kill? The Lantern of the Wall means that's almost certainly going to happen. CoreJJ will not burn the exhaust. He will die for recalling on a ward. Vulcan, that auto is a little scary, but they get the kill successfully over to Perkz. And now Zven can look for a slow and an ult even. Tactical is arrowable. They're going to land it. Can he get in range for the hook in time, though? He's slowed down. Ulti comes across. They find the hook, but is the re-engage enough? Play backwards. Perkz is here. Great kill picked up. A 4v1 is a victory, and Cloud9 get the gold back under 2,000.
Yeah, he was probably thinking, oh, maybe I flashed this arrow, but CoreJJ told him, hey, everybody else is here too. They just killed me inside the pit, so you're probably dead anyways with the Skarner coming, and Blaber was going to be able to cut him off. Answer, possibly?
Flay buys some time. Hecarim into the back line. Vulcan going to flash now, but Perkz nearly going to drop here to 200 HP. Easy kill for Santorin, who's already got Divine Sunderer at 11 minutes in. Vulcan going to drop now as well. A bloody game, 8-6 already. Team Liquid counterpunch for the 2-0.
Can they put some more pressure on this tower? Remember, they just used the Rift Herald mid to get those extra 2 turret plates, and they don't want to let these recalls go off. Tahm Kench can devour to reset tower aggro here, even though they have... Oh!
Flash, ult, pull him out of the turret. The whole team was spread apart. Shotgun buys some time, and CoreJJ spits him right back out. Zven gets 2 autos across, still 2 kills come across. It was a great attempt. I love the option for Blaber, but the damage was not enough. Shockwave bought time, and CoreJJ bought safety.
Yeah, Blaber said, if I'm going to die, it's going to be on my terms. I'm going to go for a kill here first. They do
they're still going,
get the Devour out, and this is an action-packed one. Double teleports come in for defense for Team Liquid.
Oh, but it's a 4v2 again. Santorin's already here. Now it's a 5v2. Jensen's back as well. This is going to be days never on Cloud9. A good explosive cask. Builds a lot of space, and they will keep their top lane turret alive for now. However, that got scary for sure.
Yeah, Cloud9 versus Team Liquid definitely delivering here. Picking her up right where they left off in the lock-in tournament. This is on an exit kill after they just made their power play towards top side. A little bit of kind of lazy movements here from Cloud9 as Team Liquid had full priority over mid, and they just send 2 people to walk right back through. I think that's a little bit of a celebration of what they did on top side, pulling off those 2 kills. They kill CoreJJ, they kill Tactical, but then they get a little greedy, taking jungle camps while also taking top tower and walking through this river. It's just too much, and Team Liquid are having none of it.
Yeah, Rubbers weren't even up. Like, you towered over top lane, decided to walk to mid, which just, yeah, it felt really weird. Obviously, hey, good job by TL to capitalize, but as you mentioned, yeah, that definitely felt like greedy movement. I want to point out that Perkz was briefly considering Gale Force's item. He had it on his death and decided to actually undo. I would rather go Kraken Slayer. I want tank busting. I want to make sure I can actually knock down CoreJJ, Santorin, and Alphari, the beefy ones. Double dash comes in for Alphari. He's going to land, though. Hook almost goes in. If he had animated the W, probably would have landed for Vulcan, but it is Perkz able to walk away cleanly.
Yeah, and I think with the Tahm Kench up there too, just applying that safety, it's easy for Team Liquid to continue stacking dragons. Santorin is 6-0 on this Hecarim. Divine Sunder completed, as you said, a long time ago, so he could just murder objective after objective for them. And Team Liquid just remaining stable on the sides here with CoreJJ. Abyssal Voyage is ready for him to try and protect whoever is under pressure.
Alrighty, Quicksilver Sash comes through for CoreJJ. He's the one who has to pay his taxes. Very, very frequently, you will see Tahm Kench be the one and only champion who pays that tax. It's okay. Skarner can't ult anyone else if I'm around, so he'll ult me. Well, now you can't ult me. Now you've got no good targets. And that is obviously why he picked the champion. It wasn't so much for winning duo lane necessarily, or so much for, you know, sort of positive team compositions. It was more as a counter pick, which makes obviously a lot of sense. It's been good, right? Like the dives have worked out. There are enough aggressive champions that he can just be the defensive one and make the tower dives succeed, and that's been pretty good. 0, 2, and 7 for Core is obviously quite good. The 9/0 KDA for Santorin obviously also outstanding. He's been kind of the star of the show.
Yep, definitely like that. Jungler getting all the kills. I'm going to savor every last moment of 11.3, Phreak. And the Fed junglers here. Definitely feels good if you're a Hecarim, though, because this type of overall composition does lose a lot of power if the Hecarim is weak early on. If you are unable to use, you know, strong lanes like the Renekton to get some of these early leads. Now, the process is very clear for Team Liquid, though. When they group up, you know, hand that ball over to Santorin. Jensen, just have faith in your jungler to get a good positioning there. He will deliver the shockwave, and that will deliver the team fight. Meanwhile, with this early lead, they can just continue to whittle down on these outer turrets. And Tactical actually picks up the first turret bonus as well here with CoreJJ. So all things going along swimmingly.
Absolutely are. 5,000 gold lead to Team Liquid at only 15 minutes. That is outstanding. 300 gold per minute as a lead is very, very high. So TL well poised to close one out and make that scoreline 5-4 in the first round robin. Halfway through the record until the midseason showdown, until the qualifier for MSI. And at least there'll be a winning record. At least there'll only be 2 games behind first, since Cloud9 will be the team with the best record, whether or not they win this game. They are 1.5 games above Team Liquid, or sorry, Dignitas and everyone else up there at 5, so that's still a good look for them. But yes, TL showing incredibly well in the first 60 minutes of this game, still probably going to be moving forward, waiting for the rest of their mythics to come across. The Kraken Slayer done for Tactical, as you expect. Some pit stops for Jensen to play a bit more defensively, obviously against such an AD-heavy team. Went for a quick arm guard. Early tier also not much of a surprise, so a very late mythic, but these components are very good, so it makes sense.
Yeah, I also think, well, maybe we get some action here. There's a croc in the bush.
Oh, he's waiting for the flank play. Perkz still going to chase into Jensen. Shockwave is going to be flashed on. Now a flash to disengage, and Vulcan going to be such an easy target. They find the stun, and they're going to knock him down. Jensen lands the spells at the right time, and now Perkz, alone in the 1v2, decides it's probably time to run away, but Blaber's coming around, so maybe he can keep them interested because, well, more TL is coming. The horse comes in, finds a fear. Arrow's not going to land. Santorin kills under the turret, and a quick stun, but Santorin, he is just too tanky, and CoreJJ drops turret, makes him just survive it, you know, splits him out, not a problem at all. And again, Team Liquid getting the better of every fight we've ever had.
I can only imagine the feeling of safety of having a CoreJJ Tahm Kench on your team, Phreak. Just being able to dive in with impunity. You always know he's going to have your back. He even brings in Santorin to pick up another kill. He's about to go legendary on this Hecarim. And the other thing, too, I don't know about Flowers, but I always hate locking in a Skarner pick when you have an Ashe on your team because the opponents are going to get so much value out of things like Tahm Kench and QSS purchases. Really is going to deliver a lot there. No need to recap that kill onto Thresh. There's no way that you know, Vulcan's ever going to get out of that one. And here's the delivery from CoreJJ we're talking about. Santorin goes into the 40% health Perkz, immediately annihilates them, and then you can keep on diving the tower, of course, without worrying about giving up your bounty because CoreJJ has your back.
All right, well, a little bit of wave clear for Fudge. Sadly, of course, not AP. Gragas, as, you know, you expect it to be tank Gragas, obviously, but at least clears the wave. Has to burn his ult to do so because he doesn't have ability power. No Night Harvester or Rocket Belt to make that nicer. And hey, at least one turret goes on the board. Cloud9, they have 6 kills. They have a single turret, but Team Liquid are already knocking down at tier 2 in bot lane. Whether or not this wave dies won't matter. The Herald will be there regardless. They do, in fact, knock down tier 2, which means they get the guaranteed charge on inhibitor. And honestly, yeah, enough defense for Cloud9. It is a 3-on-3 here. This turret should go below 1/3, and it won't regen above that. But can they get any more auto attacks down? That turret will only regen to about 1,000 HP, then it will stop there.
Yeah, I think you just keep Cloud9 inside their base. This dragon is spawning 5 seconds, so you can easily just burn it down before they even get there. There's no way you can safely go through a blue quadrant of the jungle fully warded up by Team Liquid with this giant gold deficit. The entire map is basically under their control, and TL don't have to overextend or anything, just softening up that bottom inhibitor turret nicely and getting themselves their soul point here. Ocean Soul at that, so huge value for Team Liquid in playing this dragon stacking.
Yeah, I mean, these tanks are going to be, or at least these beefy frontliners, as we're seeing, you know, Bramble Vest come through, right? Giant's Belt, like plenty of durability coming through for Renekton even on top, but yeah, you can't burst them. You don't have any burst champions. You know, you're going consistent damage with Ashe and Lucian, and then, well, they're regenning. They're regenning fast, so good luck taking them down the rest of the way. It's going to be a tough one to do, obviously. Fudge is knocking down waves, catching what farm he can. Sadly for Perkz, who's supposed to be a lane bully, he got counterpick. He was the, I believe, the 10th pick of the entire game. And yeah, I mean, didn't get that much for it, right? He's sitting here with the lowest farm of any of the laners on either team. He's got 4 kills, that's good, but sadly has not been able to get much out of that first blood.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really good focus by Team Liquid to you know, send everybody towards the bottom pressure for that bottom tower dive while Perkz was on a recall so that he didn't get to participate after getting his first blood. And then Alphari roaming from top lane to punish him under tower as well is really good countermeasures, I think, put in place by Team Liquid. There's a reason that these were our 2 lock-in finalist teams, and meeting up here once again, even though Team Liquid have been on a slide recently, they have come out with all guns blazing versus C9.
They really have. I mean, all 5 from Aphelios, and then everyone else is going to be looking good regardless.
I was saying, yeah, I was waiting for it. I was like, come on, there's a bunch of Aphelios.
It's an easy one. He's literally on the screen. Yeah, 5 is greater than 2. I'm sorry. We had Flowers talk about how the horses have more legs. And you know, TL have way more guns. You know, you brought a bow to a gunfight, and it's just not looking good. Zven's doing the best he can, but yeah, honestly, TL walking over this one right now. 3.5 minutes till Ocean Soul. They're doing a Baron setup just for vision. They may not have to hard go for Baron, but they are going to start here. They are going to be fairly safe with all the vision they've got. They know it's all in Fog of War. If Cloud9 don't check, it's just a freebie.
Yep. All right, Hawkshot does the checking for you.
And that means they've got to peel out. They take a bit of damage. Not going to mean too much. The waves are already pushed, but it allowed Perkz to uncontested push out top wave. Mid got answered. It's back to meeting at equal sort of locations. But in the meantime, Alphari safe, pushing in the bottom lane, getting another wave pushed up. We know that inhibitor turret is an easy mark. It's never going to be all that healthy for the rest of the game. If you let anyone alone with that turret, it's going to fall.
Definitely true. There's plenty of DPS built up with the pace of this game. Only 21:47 into it, and we already have 18 kills on the board. We also see plenty of wards here used by Team Liquid set up around the Baron to possibly bait in Cloud9 members. I don't think anyone from Cloud9 ever has to fall victim to a Baron bait this early, though. It's very likely that Team Liquid just wait another 2 minutes for the Ocean Soul, because there's so much value there. And Cloud9 should probably use most of their vision resources trying to set up for that one. But Team Liquid are saying, hey, you can't just ignore this area. We've got a 7-kill Hecarim here. With shields from Orianna, you can almost infinitely tank the Baron, and you have plenty of DPS to actually threaten it with this Aphelios. 2-item power spikes here for tactical. Doesn't really matter which guns he has at the time, although obviously the Chakrams would be ideal.
Yep. Yeah, best single target damage you can get, for sure. Just, you know, here's a more multiplier on more damage, and it's going to feel really good. Scales with everything. All right, now, though, yeah, as you mentioned, Kobe, I think it's just TL waiting for the easy Ocean Soul play. It's the low-risk play. You're not going to give over that much farm. Like, they're not going to catch up very much by just waiting a minute and a half. If you are on some kind of, like, really big timer, and you're like, we have to win the game by 30, we have to make sure we end it in time, maybe you take the risk for Ocean, but it doesn't even feel like you're getting outscaled. Again, because you can build one type of defense. Like, the second item for Alphari is a full Thornmail. Because he knows, like, what are they going to do? They don't have magic damage. We don't have to care about this. I can go for more defensive build. We've got plenty of damage to the Aphelios and the Orianna. I can just be invincible, and it's going to be great. And indeed, he makes that choice. The exact same build's coming for Santorin. He's so rich it was third item for him because he's gigantic and has 17 kills.
Yeah.
But, like, guess what? We're going to stack Thornmails, and you lose the game. You had to win lane, or our tanks are too good, and here we are, that paying off the good team fighting in the early game.
Yep, Team Liquid pick up the secondary turret easily here. They're transitioning control wards already over to this blue quadrant leading up to the dragon. So let's play hardball here, Phreak. If Cloud9 are able to get back into this one, it has to be, honestly, catching somebody that's away from CoreJJ. So they would have to be a pretty big misstep here in positioning from Team Liquid. Like CoreJJ being around, it just makes it so difficult because, you know, he did rush the QSS. He can use it himself. Plus, anybody around him is easily targeted. So it is going to be difficult, but Cloud9 got to look for something here. Maybe Vulcan could start it off. They can burn some defenses that way first with some big Thresh plays. Yeah. And they're able to focus somebody down with Perkz and Zven.
All right, decent first sense of damage, though. Honestly, yeah, Santorin's down to like 40%. Well done. Perkz goes forward, blasts them apart. CoreJJ barely got the shield off in time, but they still find a stun. And these health bars are low. They pull back in Jensen, and he is alone without his tax shelter. Woo! Out goes the horses in Cloud9. They found the opening. Perkz put the shots down. TL had to run away. And finally, after 20 minutes of effort, Cloud9 gets something back on the board.
Yeah. They're not going to go down sleeping here, Phreak. Cloud9 just, everybody charges right in. Fudge, get in there. You're the tank. Just walk right in, and we will go after whatever target you find. Perkz immediately melting them there. CoreJJ does survive, but they chunked him out so much, he couldn't devour anyone, and Blaber's able to get a target. If they can turn this into Baron, that would be big.
Santorin has Ghost and no ulti. They can see him walk in, and they have a 5-on-4. Can they make it in? They first QSS comes across. They find the team fight, 5-on-4, and the backline is Perkz. It's a flash out of the pit. Santorin, though, has no way to get out, though, and the re-engage is going to be good enough. They will kill back Fudge, and Tactical's firing off. But it's going to be enough. It's going to be enough. They knock down another one as Blaber drops, and inside the pit is Team Liquid. Zven is dead as well. Thanks for the leash, buddy. Team Liquid, the team fight, and the Baron.
Yep, and they're probably going to chase down Perkz as well. There's a blast gun here. Does he get out? Cancel.
Yeah, the calling's just enough. He's going to walk away with his life. Ultimately, though, Team Liquid win the team fight outright 5-on-4, and it was enough. Jensen TP'd at the end, helped make sure it could happen. C9 took a risk, and TL answered well enough.
Yeah, they're able to burn it down pretty well, but they immediately go for the turn here. Vulcan flashes in, does get the flay, but nobody can follow up on Tactical, and then they get pushed back into the Baron pit by the Hecarim. And so even though Hecarim does go down here, you see Tactical switching over to red-white, just annihilating everybody inside this Baron pit. Best two guns right there to get nice and close with them. Tactical pumping out the damage here ahead of that beefy front line. And Team Liquid, as quickly as the opportunity for a comeback arose for Cloud9, they slammed that door shut. Yes, you did delay the Ocean Soul. You got that dragon. However, Team Liquid now with the Baron buff, they can just annihilate the rest of these turrets.
Yep, big damage for Tactical. Flash Flay pulled him in, but CoreJJ walked up, devoured him. Hook lands on CoreJJ, QSS walks out. All right, well, those your engage tools gone, and now he's safe to do all the rest of it. So look at the game state we're in. 8,500 is the gold lead Baron buff. Still on for 140. TL going to feel very good about this one. I expect him to knock down probably at least 2 inhibitor turrets during this buff. Get the easy reset in time to set up for the Ocean Soul, and a 10,000 gold lead Ocean Soul fight. It's going to be so easy for Team Liquid.
Yep, definitely true, as long as they don't fall victim to the same play they did last time. The initiation from Fudge, just kind of going on first target here. He is waiting once again inside the brush here. He's the point man basically for Cloud9. You follow that up with the Ashe arrow, and hoping that CoreJJ has already been chunked out or is too far away. Alphari will finish up that secondary tower with no problem on the top side of the map. Baron buff empowered Renekton. Easy play there, and the rest of the squad has another minion, 2 more full minion waves to try and get some actual damage done on these inhibitor towers before getting the reset for Ocean Soul.
All right, 45 seconds left on Red Bull Baron. We know all the tier 2 turrets are gone now. Bot going to be left alone. Mid lane under fire fast, though. That's going to drop. The stun means nothing from Zven. I'm not sure why they even went for it if no one was willing to go forward. Hook's going to land. Good damage at Hecarim. They have QSS. Or sorry, they don't have one. The horsey charge goes around, and oh, he gets saved. You gotta be kidding me. He spits him right back out. Good by Perkz to find a kill. CoreJJ still the target. He's going to drop, actually. The fight is close. It's a 3v3 right now, as long as they can kite. Blaber finds the stun. Alphari finds himself with 200 health right now, and they might find that chase down. Stopwatch for Blaber. Thought he's going to get bursted down. Tactical. He's going to open up, but he's going to be stunned, and it's a 2v2. Now Perkz has to get away, but he's been slowed by the dissonance, and Zven makes sure that they can claim that kill. Sorry, Jensen makes sure they can claim that kill. And in a 2v1 push, it is now Blaber against the world tank. Skarner is going to try his best, but he's down 3 levels on each of them. Finds a single stun, tries to knock down the minions. First turret's going to drop. Support spawns now as well. Solo lane's definitely better than a jungler and a support. But with the wave gone, Cloud9 will keep their base alive. But look at that timer, Kobe. It's your favorite. It's 40 seconds to the Drake. It's time to recall.
It truly is. No reason to risk anything at those Nexus turrets. I was wondering how much they were going to tunnel on it. As soon as you have some recalls coming up, just retreat right back to that soul. Here's the hook into Flay, into pullback from Blaber. Quite a nice combination there, but they didn't quite have enough to finish him off. Devour went off right before Fudge's ultimate on Gragas was going to be the killing blow. Then, even though he dies on the aftermath here, enough damage from Tactical and Jensen to pick that one up. And you think maybe they can actually turn it around with how much Perkz and Zven were able to rip through Alphari. But Jensen and Tactical, burst damage galore. They finish it off. Last auto here from Orianna gets that one back alive.
Stun into Perkz, Prince QSS, damage on Alphari, nearly knocks him down, barely staying alive though, but Vulcan's going to be the target. Explosive cast by some more time. Onto the back line goes Hecarim. Going to be trying for Fudge to keep his team alive, but he cannot get that one either. The chase down already comes across, and it's too little too late. Cloud9, they may have team fought well, but they cannot fight against those bags of gold. So many items in inventory, and Team Liquid, positioning or not, will take that fight all the same. They are tankier, they deal more damage, and honestly, they're just going to win this one now. Blaber buys a little bit of time, but there's a mini wave committed to the mid lane. They'll take a second inhibitor just for show, and the Nexus turrets will now fall. Team Liquid will end their first round robin worse than they wanted at 5-4. However, they are still in control of their destiny. They are still in position to keep making playoffs with 9 games to go until the mid-season showdown. Team Liquid takes down Cloud9.
And it does speak to how close the league is, Phreak. With so many upsets happening, a lot of these bottom-tier teams taking games off of the expected favorites has turned Team Liquid's record into this middle-of-the-pack record. And yet, it still is TL versus Cloud9. Big, big delivery here. Action-packed game from beginning to end. I like that Team Liquid also, despite some of the stumbles they've had in the middle of the season here, they did not revert to the old style Team Liquid that we have seen in years past, where they just go scaling, team fighting. They went right back to it. They're going to keep on with this proactive play. They make bottom side dive. They go rotate Alphari for a mid lane dive to follow it up. And with these 2 quick consecutive plays, they take a lot of the power out of the Lucian pick, out of the Cloud9 composition, and especially really loved the CoreJJ Tahm Kench late pick there for them. Seeing Ashe Arrow, seeing Skarner. It's basically Tahm Kench dream scenario, gets to frustrate everybody and save a lot of teammates.
Yeah, so hey, well done obviously to Team Liquid. They are 2 games behind first place as they close out their first round robin. They at least control their destiny for getting second in the split. They can't guarantee first heading into playoffs, but obviously you win the BO5s, you're going to get there anyway. Is an impressive run. I know, Kobe, you're talking about these teams being close. Everyone I've heard talk about it says the LCS is the most competitive it's ever been, and that's despite the fact that it felt like coming into the year we had like development rosters on one half of the league and these like big money rosters on the other half of the league, and yet these teams are battling really tightly. So that's fun to see. Of course, we got some more games today, though, so stick tuned for that. We're heading to a break. When we come back, the State Farm Analyst is going to be breaking down that TL victory, so stay tuned.